Hello, everybody.
What's up?
I mean, it's on cooldown. I know it should have been Wednesday, but we have learned our lessons.
Oh, you gotta know that all the cool stuff happens after Wednesday night US people and Thursday early morning for us, I believe. And some things happened. Some things are really
FEL WEREBEAR, baby. It's on. It's live. It's confirmed. You know, that's it. You cannot ease this shit, man. It's
Who
the
will not
swole
play
bear.
Guardian Druid now?
Now listen. We have talked about this on the last episode when we addressed, I think, 9.1.5 Mage Tower stuff, and we had a lot of comments last Thursday on actually the Guardian Druid skin from the Mage Tower. A lot of people said basically, I'm not interested in doing the Mage Tower unless I can get my goddamn swole bear skin. Well, guess what? We have it. It's determined. It's confirmed, and it's a beauty.
So sick, dude.
It's a beauty.
Look at it. I'm obviously biased because it's a big fucking beast, and I love Druid in all RPGs.
Oh yeah.
The thing is, I remember the point when they announced the Mage Tower with the survival guide, and they showed all of the artifact appearances, and I'm like, dude, this gorilla bear shit looks sweet as fuck. And it was actually the first one that I got.
I know. And we have to remember, guys, that it was Flame's first, I would say, comeback video for MarcelianOnline back in 2017. He did the Mage Tower, the first wall video, the Mage Tower guide for Guardian Druids. I mean, I think that video will become relevant again, man.
I'm actually curious to know how much it will actually hold up to today's standard.
But look at this bad boy. Look at this bad boy. I mean,
they've actually done some really cool. This looks. I mean, I always said, okay, if they're gonna do artifact appearances, they need to recolor that. But Jesus, man, don't make it so much more awesome than what I worked so hard to get.
It's awesome. And I'm hoping a lot of folks are excited for this. And guess what? On Twitter, a lot of the devs that are working on 9.1.5 mentioned that there's still more to come. I don't know what the fuck is with this patch, because, okay, so we had a lot of talks about the 9.1.5 patch not having actual content in it. On the other hand, all of the things that are happening in 9.1.5 actually enhances the current / old content. Do you agree?
I think we mentioned something like this, like they're just making the content playable, and I mean, obviously they're gonna have to do way more than just the werebear, because that looks so fucking hot that they have to just do the same for all of it, man. Well, like all of it.
That's the thing. Okay, so you have the official statement here. So here it is, confirmation. Okay, so success in a Mage Tower challenge will now award a Legion themed armor set for your class. Now this confirms that the tier sets that we have seen and the WoW had data mined, these are the things you will get. Okay, there's also a new achievement coming in 9.1.5 for most well-rounded champions of the Kirin Tour. Players who complete all 7 of the challenges on different characters across their battle account will be rewarded with a unique flying mount, the Soaring Spell Tome. That is also determined here, but I had a hard time finding it. I think I'm gonna put it on post-production. It's fine. Now, this is the important bit, right? So this is in regards to what you mentioned. Additionally, Guardian Druids who complete the High Lord's Return challenge will also receive a new FEL variant of the werebear form. So they're not gonna do other Mage Tower skins. This is it. This is for the Druids. But those tier 20 Legion tier sets will probably be the ones.
If they're gonna do better, they have to do Feral as well, because Feral also didn't.
I'm fine. Okay, I'm fine with this. This is. I mean, it's not that I just want the bear. It's. I think it's a lot of work still, because this is a recolor and a little bit more pizzazz effects to it. I don't know how much work it is, but in order for them to do like a treatment like this for all of the original Mage Tower skins,
it's a lot. That's also part of why I never thought that they would be able to do this, or that they would end up doing it, because this is just like, what is it, 36 specs with all the different appearances, and this is like no joke. This looks super good.
I know,
a lot of extra pizzazz, and maybe finally getting some attack animation, not just the same old paw forever and ever.
We'll see. But let's move along, because we have even greater news for Mythic Plus, because we have lived this week's affixes with necrotic and sanguine, and fuck necrotic, it's a pain. Well, guess what? We have several nerfs to the affixes coming in 9.1 1.5. So let's start it off with necrotic, because now it lasts for 8 seconds, right? So your tank basically needs to run away when he gets a lot of stacks. Now, this will be a little bit more easier to handle because the duration of the 8 seconds is being dropped to 6 seconds. And I think that's pretty big.
Makes kiting a little bit easier. Makes tanks that are not that mobile, like Blood Decay, have an easier time to drop it.
Oh yeah.
It depends how this will affect, but obviously people found out ways to drop necrotic so far, even with tanks like Blood Decay and I want to say Prop Eldin, but Prop Eldin might have Pony that can...
Pony, baby!
But Prop Eldin doesn't have a particularly easy time either, outside of just popping Bubble.
Jump on it.
But I think it's a good change, because they could have nerfed the amount of healing reduction, but that would have probably just made it obsolete, more or less.
Yeah, I mean, you still want it to be challenging a bit, right? I mean, the healing reduction is basically what makes necrotic. I think this is the smart way. I mean, we haven't talked to the theory crafters, especially the tank boys from the class discords, but at the very first glance, it's really good, right? So
pretty much all of these are kind of tank.
Yeah. Well, let's check on the other one, bolster, right? So bolstering now will not be like indefinite. It will only last for 20 seconds.
That's probably the big thing.
That's huge, because I mean, okay, it depends on what comp you have, but generally, I would say like for medium to 15s to 17, 18 keys, right? You don't always have the classes to deal damage in equal amount and, have uncapped AoE and shit like that. We'll get to uncapped AoE shortly. So bolstering could have been a problem in a lot of the cases, right? Where
it's probably one of the most annoying affixes. Like, it's not particularly difficult, you just have to pull way less, and some dungeons just make it like Spires of Ascension.
Tedious, yeah.
I don't think Spires of Ascension has a pool where 2 mobs have the same amount of HP, unless you just pull like all of the little lion cat guys. But I think that can be a very interesting thing, especially in high level keys where you might just like ignore something for like 20 seconds and wait for the bolster stacks to drop. That would be interesting.
It's good. Definitely a good thing. And the last one, Enrage. Which let's take it like this. So in BFA, let's have a little story about Enrage, right? So in BFA, the damage from Enrage was 100%. Then in 9.0.5, I think that was Shadowlands, or no, 9.1, it was reduced to 75%. Now in 9.1.5, we're looking at a damage reduction up to 50%. So it will deal 50% increased damage. You played a tank a lot of the times. How did you feel when you got lots of them bad boys enraged? I mean, I can only think of the other side.
Dude, like, I mean, those guys are already enraged. They get double enraged on top of all of this.
It's ridiculous, dude.
And the thing is, that actually made druids. This is where I'm conflicted, because it first of all makes druids way more desirable, and obviously hunters as well, to get that soothe out, and then rogues as well with the ship, I think.
Yeah, but not if you're assassination though, because
non-sin rogues.
Yeah,
I think this is definitely a good change, because it feels like Enrage just doesn't scale right with the rest of the affixes. I think it scales way too highly, way too quickly.
Yeah,
and you can see it on tanks like Blood Decay, for instance, which tanks like that don't have like block or parry. I mean, you have the baseline parry, but outside of parry, you're just gonna get melted. And when you do a key, you have to pull high, otherwise you'll never finish that key in time. And when you get like 5 or 6 mobs all in rage at the same time, because people don't nuke them down one at a time, it's just fucking.
No, but overall, having nerfs to all of these is really good. I cannot wait for 9.1.5 to come in with all of the goodness, especially because we do, a lot of keys. We do much more keys than we do raiding. Raiding we do 2 nights a week, and keys we do whatever in between. So pretty good news. Now let's go into another bit of information here. This is from the official Blizzard post for alts. So items and rewards. The heirloom vendor in Oribos now sells the following buy non equip items: Traveler's Anima cash that allows anima to be taken to new covenants or sent to alternate characters.
We did this from last week, right?
Yes. Then Valorous equipment chests for Valor that contains 1 piece of item level 210 Mythic 0 gear. This is upgradable.
That's actually pretty good.
Yes, the chest can only be purchased by a character with a 1500 or higher Mythic plus rating, which I think is fair, because if you have a main, you're probably going to get to that and do dungeons. That I don't think that's super hard.
Yeah, that's a good addition if they somehow address valor gains as well.
They did say more is to come, so who knows? I think implementing these things like in chunks on the PTR and then announcing them, I think it's pretty decent. And also, this is interesting, Unchained equipment chest for Conquest that contains one piece of item level 220 unranked PvP gear. The chest can only be purchased by a character with a 1600 or higher rating in any PvP bracket. They have also lowered the cost for honor and conquest gear on purchasing as well. So that also is going to be like a tad easier to get into.
It's going to be
getting to 1600 right now in PvP is a different discussion, but nevertheless they're looking at I would say the barriers of getting into that, because there's a big contrast between the PvP scene at the beginning of Shadowlands and what happens now. Everybody and their mom was playing PvP, was like super easy to get into. The gear was good, the gear requirement was good. Everything was like flowing naturally, and then it just got messed up. But moving along, Korthia and the mob. So the research reports what do you read this? Trestize items? Treaties. The bonus drops in 9.1 content are now available for purchase account-wide if a character on their account has reached the appropriate tier. Players at tier 6 can now purchase the item Research Report Relic Examination Techniques, a new bind on account item that can send to an alt to increase the reputation granted by relics and relic fragments by 50%. Really good, because listen, I cannot stand farming reputation over there, man. I did it so much on my rogue, I'm tired. So if there's any chance for us, if there is any chance for us to do alts and get some of that goodness from Korthia, this is really good. The quest, Relic Efficiency, offered at tier 4 now also increases the average number of relics that will show up as bonus drops from rares and treasures, as well as how many relics show up on daily quest or in weekly reward chests. Basically increasing all of the drop rates for all of this shit, right?
Yeah.
This is in addition to the current reward of a 20% chance to receive a double the normal relic fragment drops from rares and treasures. So I would say again, they know. So Korthia, at the beginning, Korthia was pretty interesting and nice. I actually liked
any
it.
new zone would be.
Yeah, because the things over there were interesting to do, and they were quite. I mean, a couple of rares are really fun to do and all of that, but it became stale and boring quickly.
It was just too much. Okay, I might be biased about this because obviously this is all subjective as well, but it just felt like it was just too much grinding. And I know we've received a lot of comments and a lot of chats on Discord and on our stream that they should just make once you get the max rank or whatever rank, just make it account-wise so that your alts can also upgrade without having to farm the things. Obviously, that would have been one solution, but clearly by the way
you are the solution.
Clearly, the way they're implementing all of this, they just want you to play Korthia, and by increasing the rewards, just goes to show like how much farming you actually have to do in Korthia, because they did put a lot of mounts, but there's so many recolors and reskins and all of that, like. It's just a lot. It's just a lot because the amount of time that you have to spend in Korthia to get everything maxed on one character rarely leaves time enough for your alt.
Yeah, so all of these are added basically to improve that, right? And we'll read their note as well. There's one more thing with the relic clues. Let's get to that. So added 2 new quests. Relic clues at tier 3, which starts the bonus at an initial 10% chance at double relic fragments, and relic hunter at tier 5 that will set the final chance for double relics at 40%. Both of these new quests will also increase the average number of relics you will see as bonus drops on daily quests or in weekly reward chests. Now let's read the developers' note. So this is kind of in line with everything that we talked about. This is what they said. We want to improve the experience on alts. Looking to gear up through Korthia by providing immediate access to the upgrade unlocks and the reputation increase if a player's main character has reached tier 6. We also understand that the end tiers of the reputation are taken longer than we intended. No fucking shit, eh? They're geniuses, especially for players with limited playtime or are not powerful enough yet to delve into the rifts on Korthia. To that end, we have added the new quest at tier 3 and 5 and adjusted the one at tier 4 to increase the relic count from the weekly and daily rewards. This along with their other bonus of increasing the relic fragments drops, we hope will speed up everyone's progress to restore Archivist Codex. This just goes to show, man. So all of these things where they're talking about not the way we intended. Listen! You had feedback on this, on the PTR, like forever. Everything was feedback from, I think what happened is they probably looked back at all of the feedback that they didn't listen to. And then they saw the reaction and drop off in 9.1 and say, maybe it's not as we intended, Ian. Hey, Ian, let's do something about it, Ian. And then, Mikey Barra came in and is like, fuck that target cap, my warrior doesn't do shit. I want to do more. Let's fuck it up. I want to play other classes and other specs and shit. Fuck up Korthia, make it easy, ketchup, mustard, all of that, curry, make it great. And it looks like it's happening. So, that being said, all of these new additions to 9.1.5 are great. Yeah. It makes me, it moves me from cautiously optimistic to dumbass naive at this point.
Well, that's the thing, right? Because there's a very important point to be made. Are they making these in the lights of the scandal or in the lights of people actually dropping off? Because people dropping off would actually be a very good argument for them to implement these changes. Like, okay, fine. We're giving all of this to you, and that's actually great. I hope they continue, and so far they definitely are proving to us that they're continuing with this attitude. So that's pretty good. So actually give us the game that we want to pay them for.
I know, man. This is the thing. It's getting. I know a lot of you out there are not playing anymore, but really want to play, just don't have the proper incentive yet, and that's totally understandable. I know there's another side that actually wants to come back to the game in 9.1.5 due to the multiple quality of life improvements. That's also fine. And there's obviously the folks that have quit for good. There was the last straw, and once again, it is understandable. Going to your point, if this is indeed a reaction to the scandal, then I'm afraid it's gonna be a one-time thing, right? Up until the next scandal.
Well, this is where I'm a little bit conflicted, man, because whenever they did like cool shit that we asked for and they worked really well, it was clear in the numbers and everything that, okay, the game was doing really good.
Yeah.
I still don't understand why they're just not keeping like, oh, that was good. Let's try something else. But why? Why?
Yeah, I know. Let's not like make it too negative, because it's not really our jam. It's good news all around. Like, it's been like almost 3 or 4 weeks now when we constantly get updates, cool new updates for 9.1.5, and it's shaping up to be, I think, one of the best patches in WoW's recent history, and it's a 0.5 patch. No content once again, but awesome changes.
I retain my higher excitement for 9.1.5 than 9.1.
I know, man. I know. And I'm gonna finish up with this. 0.5 patches do not contain content, okay? Never. They always were introduced in the game to either fix up some systems or do some balancing and tuning to specs or borrowed power stuff. If you look at previous 0.5 patches, there was never really major content in them. I think the only one was, 8.2.5 or 8.1.5, where we had the mini raid, Crucible of Storms, I believe it was. That was in 0.5 patch. That was the only example, and that was also like a mini raid. So don't flame out. Don't flame out if there's new content. I believe this takes the place for new content, and it's really good, and you're gonna have a lot more content, like in a personal space, because you're gonna be able to actually play your other specs. And that's good.
I mean, new content or non-new content, the 9.1 stuff would still remain until 9.2. So making it actually work properly just makes the overall gaming experience better. Sure, we don't get new content now, but I strongly believe that 9.2 is going to be a way better patch. They've definitely seemed to be learning, and I'm cautiously optimistic, a little bit more than that maybe.
Hey man, but listen, for who you can be like 100% optimistic? Do ya? Oh, Patreons!
Thank you so much for the support, guys. Obviously, we've started a new type of series of videos for a few weeks now, and we're actually having a lot of fun. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the new content, especially the new types of videos that we had, like yesterday's video as well, for the simming purposes.
Oh, yeah.
And if you, dear viewer, like to support us a little bit more, and you like what we're doing, and maybe you want to see more, check the link down below into the description. You'll find our Patreon page with a couple of goodies that you might like. Maybe something's for you, and
oh, that's my cue. We thank you very much. Thank you for watching the video. Leave your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to become a Patreon, did you say that already? Because I was like spazzed out.
He was thinking about the FEL WEREBEAR, man. It's like, I can see the smoke forming.
I'm sorry. No. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And we'll see you tomorrow with a brand new TLF.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Later.
I've been loving it then, I still love it now. Still, I play WoW. Still, I play WoW. Getting better every day, let me show you how. Cause still, I play WoW. Still, I play WoW. It's getting harder to stay, but at the end of the day, it's a guilty pleasure, so just log in and play. Whether it's classic or retail, I'ma do a /bow. Still, I play WoW.